The Force FX lightsaber giveaway is still going on, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to enter to win a lightsaber of your choosing. Once you've done so, be sure to tell me which lightsaber you hope to win in the comment section down below. Spoilers will follow for Star Wars The Last Jedi that will ruin the movie for you, and one of the biggest movie twists in recent memory, so if you have not seen the film yet, please do so before continuing. In The Last Jedi, the Supreme Leader of the First Order is betrayed by his apprentice when Kylo Ren activates the Skywalker lightsaber placed at the side of his master. After the lightsaber ignites through the body of Snoke, Kylo uses the Force to pull the lightsaber into the grasp of Rey, cutting his master in half above the waist. Following this, in an additional shot, we clearly see that the Supreme Leader of the First Order is deceased. But this raises the debate and comparison of another Star Wars character who has suffered a similar injury and yet survived. In The Phantom Menace, the Jedi Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi cut the Sith apprentice Darth Maul in half and close to the same place where Snoke was cut. However, we later learned that Darth Maul actually survived these injuries. Maul would even go on to face Kenobi again with a cybernetic lower half. So this raises the question, if another Darksider with even less skill and control over the dark side of the Force, like Maul, could survive a similar injury, why couldn't Snoke? As stated before, the Supreme Leader is totally dead, but in this video, I wanted to discuss why someone like Maul would be able to survive that injury and yet Snoke couldn't. Let's begin with how Maul actually managed to survive. Maul used his hatred for Kenobi and shame of failure to fuel his body beyond what was possible. Just as Darth Vader uses his aggression and hatred to fuel his ailing body, so did Maul. Something to take note of though is Maul was completely broken by the encounter as he lost his sanity because of the attack. It was only after Mother Talzin intervened that Maul was able to regain his sanity. Being cut in half literally broke him mentally. The point I am trying to make is that while Maul did survive physically, his complete psyche was broken because of his injuries. Even in the Star Wars universe, being cut in half is not something someone easily bounces back from. The dark side of the Force gave Maul enough fury and fire for him to continue on and survive this drastic injury, but without aid, Maul certainly would have died not much longer after Savage encounters him in the Clone Wars series. Next, we need to address the actual cut made to Snoke, as it was slightly higher than that of Maul, meaning it made contact with more vital organs and did more damage overall. And the most influential thing that contributed to the survival of Maul and death of Snoke was their physical condition. Maul was in prime condition. When he was cut, his body was better prepared to heal and had no prior intense ailments. Maul was also only using the Force at the time to bolster his current power, not to compensate for a pre-existing injury. Supreme Leader Snoke, on the other hand, is a shell of the being he once was. Snoke's every motion is ailed by his prior injuries. The Supreme Leader is also likely already using the dark side of the Force to bolster his physical skill. Snoke is almost comparable to Darth Vader, only Vader without his suit. Snoke is exceptionally vulnerable already. Nearly any damage dealt his way could result in his death because of these vast injuries. Maul, on the other hand, was physically fine. Snoke is powerful but fragile. This is illustrated several times in the visual dictionary for The Last Jedi. Snoke's Force abilities are strong, but his body is broken, his stride staggered, and his muscles weak. He relies instead on the combat prowess of his Crimson Protectors. What this passage tells us is key. Snoke was already very weak. This is why he requires someone like Kylo Ren to carry out his wishes, out of fear of dying because of his own frailties. The ultimate point is that Maul was in near perfect physical strength, able to take huge amounts of punishment, and while the dark side was the main factor that resulted in his survival, Snoke was too weak to even survive until he hit the floor. Snoke was simply already too damaged to go on, and the lightsaber was the final straw. But that is why Darth Maul could survive being cut in half, while Snoke, on the other hand, couldn't. Although the injuries were similar, the circumstances, as in Star Wars, were not. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and what do you think about this explanation? And as a big question for the video, currently, what is your favorite Snoke theory? Again, don't forget to leave in the comments which Force FX lightsaber you want if you win. If you would like to ask additional questions and interact with me directly, the best place to do so is on my Twitter page @StupendousWave. If you have any other video ideas, again, tweet them at me or feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks as always so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. May the Force be with you and have a great day.